super excited today to be doing two unique things with zucchini. Our garden just popped out a bunch of zucchini, and this is a great vegetable. You can use it to grill or in stir fries, or I made some soup with some zucchini this week. But today we're going to make zucchini chips and zucchini pasta. Some great alternatives for you guys who are trying to keep track of your nutrition. Zucchini makes great option for pasta because the meaty texture is very similar. And of course, we do a lot of barbecuing in the summer and eating out and picnics, and everyone wants those potato chips, so why not have a healthier alternative such as a zucchini chip? So, we're going to do the zucchini potato chips first, and it's pretty simple. You're going to take 2 zucchinis, and you're going to use a mandolin, and you're going to cut it really, really thin. So I'm going to do a 1/16 of an inch. You could do a little bit thicker if you wanted. Now, whenever you're using a mandolin, you do need to be careful because of the factor that it is very easy to cut your hand, okay? So they give you this little guard you can use. I tend to just kind of go very carefully until I start to get closer, and then I'll attach the guard. So let's see how thin these are coming. These are almost like paper, okay? You can see through them. And that's what we want for that nice crispiness. This is the first time I'm making these. They did say that you want them sliced very thin. So I might actually do a few at 16 and a few at 8 just to be able to compare which size we end up liking better. Now when you're using the mandolin, you do want to occasionally turn the zucchini because it's at a slant, and if you don't turn the zucchini, well, then the zucchini is going to get lopsided. So, turning it allows you to utilize the zucchini most appropriately. The reason that we're putting the zucchini on the paper towels is to help absorb any fluid. Again, just helping them get crunchier faster. I already see the water coming out of the zucchini, so that's a good sign. I am wondering if these are going to be a little too thin. I'm going to cut a few at an 8 and see how I feel about those. You don't want the zucchini to just disintegrate, you still want a chip. Alright, so now I'm getting closer to the end, so I'm going to use the guard so that I'm sure I don't cut my hand. Nobody wants to cut their hand, and nobody wants to ruin their food by cutting their hand. So it's better to just take the moment to use the guard. Okay, so these are obviously a little bit thicker, but we're going to do a comparison, and I'll let you guys know which ones come out better. You're going to take a cookie sheet and line it with parchment paper, and after your zucchini's water has been drawn out, you then will place those on the cookie sheet, and they're going to go into the oven at 225 degrees for about 2 hours. Now I am going to keep an eye on the thinner ones because of the factor that they're going to obviously cook a little bit faster, and we don't want them to burn. Now it isn't just as simple as, okay, we're going to bake these. We are going to season them a little bit. You can season them however you want. Today am going very, very simple. We're going to brush the zucchini with some extra virgin olive oil. Make sure when you're laying the zucchini down on the cookie sheet, you don't overlap any. And then I'm just going to sprinkle them with sea salt. You can obviously do pepper, you can make them spicy, you can do some barbecue seasoning. It's up to you to see what you like for your potato chips. Now the recipe suggests you're using 2 medium zucchini. I'm using a large and a medium just because I was a little less concerned about my portions for the chips, because those I can easily figure out after. Where the pasta that we're going to make today, they recommended that you use 5 medium-sized zucchini, which is about 6 to 7 inches. So I actually, to make 4 servings, and I only want to make 2, so I'm kind of dividing my zucchini up accordingly. And I figure it's better to have extra chips than pasta for servings, because they didn't give me an exact serving size for the pasta. They just said makes 4 servings. Okay, so while those are absorbing, I'm going to take my little pastry brush and some olive oil, and I'm going to very simply just brush the zucchini with the olive oil. Now, I'm going to bake these at 250, but I am curious about a dehydrator as well. So I might throw a couple in my dehydrator around 250 just to see how that goes. The reason being is that you can only fit so many cookie sheets in your oven at a time. And so to make a lot of potato chips at once, so I shouldn't say zucchini chips at once, you're going to need to make a lot of space in your oven, which can be a little bit challenging. So we're going to do our best, but I may also try a couple in the dehydrator. If I decide to do that, then I will let you know. Okay, and then we're going to salt them. And our first batch is ready for the oven. Okay, so I'm out of cookie sheets. I did 2 thin rows and 1.5, because I have a mini cookie sheet, of the thicker ones. So we'll see which ones come out better. And I did decide to sprinkle some of them with a little bit something extra. It's a spice called Tailgater Spice Blend. It's by the Spice and Tea Exchange. It says, it's our ultimate blend for everything you can cook at a ballpark. Apply to brats, burgers, ribs, potato salad, beans, dips. The beer powder gives it an extra flavor. This includes black pepper, kosher salt, garlic, green and red bell peppers, smoked sea salt, onion, celery, paprika, tomato powder, beer powder, chives, parsley, horseradish powder, Worcestershire powder, and dill pepper. Okay, so we'll see how those taste, and then the rest of the zucchini I'm going to put in the dehydrator, and I will do 50-50 of salt and pepper. Okay, so now we have another batch of chips in the dehydrator, and we'll decide which ones come out tastier, the ones baked in the oven or dehydrated. Dehydrators don't go as high as your oven, so it's set at 155 degrees. My guess is I'm going to have to do it for about 3.5 to 4 hours until they're crispy. So now it's time to make some zucchini pasta. to serve 4, which is, you know, the average meal, you would want 5 medium zucchinis. A medium zucchini is about 6 to 7 inches long. I'm only making 2 servings, and so I'm going to use 2 zucchinis that are a little bit longer. They're closer to about 8 inches. And it's very simple. You're going to slide down the mandolin, but you don't want to slide to the core, okay? You want to kind of rotate the zucchini so that you don't end up hitting the core, and you want to make sure that the zucchini is sliced fairly thin, so I'm going to keep it at that 1/8 of an inch mark. So you can see it's, you know, about the size, the thickness of like a zucchini, I'm sorry, a lasagna noodle. So for this particular zucchini, I'm probably going to get about 5 slices on each side until I hit the core. So now I'm starting to see a little bit of seeds in the middle, so I'm going to rotate. For this particular side, I probably could get 1 more. Alright, so again, I see the core, and we're going to rotate again. And just so you know, I'm just throwing out the first piece, which is just straight up skin, because that's kind of boring. And then this one, I did get a little bit of the core, so I'm throwing that out. And then we'll do the last side. Once these are all sliced up, they're going to steam for about 3 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, okay? Now, when you steam them, I'm using a steamer that I own, but you don't have to. You can use a boiling pot of water and a steamer basket. The strips to be about a 1/2 inch in diameter, so if you have a really big zucchini, you can consider cutting some of the larger pieces in half. I have a few that are a little over 1 inch, so the larger pieces I might slice in half. Okay, so now we're going to put the zucchini in the steamer for about 3 minutes. I'm going to enjoy this zucchini today with some light marinara sauce and turkey meatballs. And then tomorrow I'm going to have it with a pesto and chicken. So that's a fun little way to change up the type of pasta you're eating if you're trying to cut back a little bit on carbohydrates. Although, as you guys know, I don't completely believe in the fact that all carbohydrates are bad. They're definitely healthy carbohydrates, and they're very important for muscle growth. So please don't take all of your carbs out of your diet. Know what you're doing and when you're supposed to eat them and what is considered a healthy carb. But a lot of times people struggle because they want to enjoy things like a nice yummy pasta dish, and they've eaten all their carbs for the day, or if you're a 21-day fix fan or a portion fix fan, they've eaten all of their yellow containers. And this is a great way to still be able to enjoy some pasta without having to have that carbohydrate in your meal. Also, if you like to enjoy things like garlic bread and you don't have enough carbs in your day for your nutrition plan to be able to have pasta with a small piece of healthy garlic bread, then this is also another option. So we're going to give that about 3 minutes and then we'll take them out. Okay, so it's been about 3 minutes. Let's turn the power off. We're going to open them up and we have some nice steamed zucchini. So it looks nice and cooked, it's flexible, pliable, but not mush. So I'm going to mix that in with a little bit of my marinara sauce and turkey meatballs. And then in this container, I'm going to mix a little bit in with a teaspoon of olive oil just to prevent it from sticking until tomorrow when I make my pesto sauce. Okay, I did measure out the servings out of my portion fix container just out of curiosity, and this made me 3 servings. You know, I tend to measure my vegetables when they're raw and then cook them after because they shrink a little bit when they cook, but I don't think the zucchini shrunk much at all in being steamed for 3 minutes. So here's my delicious lunch for today, which is those turkey meatballs, a little bit of marinara sauce, and some zucchini steams. And then in here we have another 2 servings of the steamed zucchini, and as I mentioned, I'm going to put a little bit of extra virgin olive oil in it just so they don't stick until tomorrow when I'm going to enjoy these. And mix them up. Now, you know, I made a very wide noodle. They don't need to be made this way. If you own a mandolin, they come with all different options. And, you know, you can julienne them, make them really tiny. You can also make them more like French fry size. Just beware that the different shapes might cook differently, so you'll have to kind of play with that. Also, I left the skin on because it's nice and nutritious, but if you have children who might be turned off by the fact that they're having zucchini instead of pasta for their meal, you may want to peel the zucchini first, which will make it much less noticeable for them to enjoy. Okay, so about 30 minutes in, I took a little peek at the thin ones, and they are like burnt and disintegrated. So, we definitely don't want to use the lowest setting on the mandolin because these are not going to be enjoyable, obviously. But the thicker ones are going pretty good, so I might as well transfer some of the ones from the dehydrator into the oven to see how those go, but I will leave 1 tray left in the dehydrator just so we can have that comparison as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Fun Things to Do with Zucchini, and have a fabulous day.